Now, this is a very, a powerful point I want to make. You don't want to choose a woman only based upon who you are now. Hear me good. Don't just choose your woman based upon who she is now. You also want to choose her based upon the man you're aspiring to be, because you want who you guys grow together to be. You want to grow together. You don't want to grow apart.
Positive energy and good vibrations from me to you. You have now tuned in to Imperfect Fathers Podcast.
Peace, family. You know what it is. Positive energy and good vibrations from me to you. Welcome to another dope episode of Imperfect Fathers Podcast, a platform that is dedicated to helping men build and rebuild their character and confidence, especially fatherless fathers. I am your host, RJD, the Imperfect Gentleman, your men's confidence development coach. And yes, this episode, we're going to be talking about choosing the right woman. And it's important. We're going to talk about the importance of choosing the right woman, because indeed, it is one of the most important decisions a man will ever make in his life. But before we get into any of those things, you know, around here, we got something we must do, some protocol we must follow. And part of that protocol, if you are new here, it's talking to the Father. But before we talk to the Father really quick, do me a favor, like, comment, and subscribe to this platform. Please hit that subscribe button. I see the numbers are going up, and I am grateful of that. And also keep that in front of your mind. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, as well as that share button. Hit those buttons so the algorithm can know that this content is worth it. Help spread this word so other men, other husbands, other fathers know that this content is out there for them. So don't have that stingy energy, right? Don't have that selfish energy. Let someone else know that this podcast exists. Around this podcast, we got to talk to the Father, and the most perfect Father, because as always, we are the imperfect ones. So right now, let's take this time to talk to the most perfect Father. Gracious and eternal Father, we thank you for another day. We thank you for our life, our health, and our strength. Right now, God, I ask you to watch over me as I go across the airways, that I may say something, God, that not get myself in trouble with the ladies. But also, God, help these men understanding that they are the gift. Help these men understand that they are valued and they have the choice and the decision to make that will affect the rest of their lives. God, I ask you right now to help me emphasize this message and place it in a space in their hearts where they can accept it and receive it. These things are asked in the matchless name of the Most High. In Jesus' name, amen. All right. So now that that's out of the way, we can get down to business. This week, I know you guys have heard it already. And you guys know, like I know, I'm going to bring it to the platform. For this week's version, you had to know that I was going to bring it to y'all this week. If you under a rock, you don't, that's the only reason you don't know what I'm talking about right now. So this week, and to watch and respond, I got something for y'all, man. So you should already know what it is. If you're wondering right now and you're guessing what I'm going to watch and respond to, you have literally been under a rock. Or you simply just don't know RJ by now. Because this kind of content, I am definitely going to bring up on the platform and react to. So with that being said, without further ado, let's get to it, shall we? All right, so if you do not know what you are currently watching, you are watching the brawl that took place in Alabama. I want to say Montgomery, Alabama to be exact. What you're seeing currently is a gentleman who is just doing his job. Let me stop this right here because they're getting into it already. What you're watching right now is a gentleman who is simply just doing his job, right? He is a dock worker. He's an individual who is just simply there to help the boats move along, right? Keep the organization of the place, making sure that boats move in and out with no problem, just taking care of the dock, right? He's a basic dock worker. Most dock workers, and in my experience, because I live now here in South Florida, and I've grown close to a bunch of gentlemen who do work down at the dock. Most of those gentlemen are in their late 40s, early 50s, and sometimes pushing 60. Majority of them are grandfathers, are just down there looking to pick up some extra hours to help their family provisions. Majority of the time, especially this time of year, he's probably down there trying to get enough money so he won't have to wait on these hot lines for school supplies for his grandchildren. So right now, what you're witnessing is an individual that just came to work. Now imagine, y'all just came to work, right? You just come to work, and your job is to make sure that the boats on
on the dock are in order, so all boats can come through and it can be a smooth and transition for everyone involved. Imagine your job is to do that, and on this day you go to work, you get individuals who have probably had too much to drink, or they're just too far gone in their egos or what have you. And just because you're doing your job, they think it's okay to make you their punching bag for the day. So let's play this out now. And what you're seeing right now is he had told them, please move your boat because there are another boat that are trying to get in. And he's just simply saying, man, I'm just trying to do my job, bro. And as you witness right there, there's a gentleman who came down and was just trying to explain to them, listen, just move your boat. Oh, and as you see right here, he decides he wants to fight. My man, hey, let me take a second to talk about the throwing of the hat. Yo, this throwing of the hat symbolized, and anybody who doesn't know black man or black culture, that throwing of the hat symbolized you insulted the security guard, you violated the security guard, and that's okay. Before it got physical, that was okay. You can do whatever you want, the security guard, within reason. But once that man hit this man, he threw that hat in the air, and that was a symbol of, oh, nigga, you done messed up now. That was a symbolize of, I'm no longer just a security guard, but I'm a full-fledged black man, and I'm going to do my best to show you that you just messed up by putting your paws on me. That's exactly what that hat symbolized. So I just wanted to put that out there. That was one of the greatest moments of this entire video. If you didn't check it out before, but pay attention to it. It was really phenomenal. He said, you know what? This is it. You want to hit on me? You want to act a fool? Oh, you just messed up now. Let's go. Now, I'm not going to lie. He really wasn't doing too much, and he wasn't doing too well right there because it was just still a one-on-one. Move this out the way. But as you can tell, now they're coming to jump on him. Now, this is where I had the problem at. And it's like, I want to make sure I'm being clear with this. I'm not a racist individual by no means, right? I believe in equal rights for everybody. Asian, black, white, it doesn't matter. I believe if you're human, you deserve human rights, period, point blank. But obviously, this situation is, even to the eye, you can tell that this is a black and white issue. But before I go there, I want to also notify and let people know that there was a young man who did try to jump in that was not a black man, right? I seen this and paid attention to this during the video. This young man right here was not a black man, but he attempted to help. Now let's watch what happens to him, because he gets he gets a little taste of some medicine and he didn't really want anymore. This young man decided he wanted to take a blow. He didn't want anymore. I then began to realize that, yo, not only are there white men jumping on this black man, there are women that are deciding to put their hands on this black man. Now, that in itself is wrong because you guys are ganging up on this man, but now a woman is getting involved with this. So at first, I had a little problem when going a little further in the video with men hitting people and women getting hit and all those things. But as I see right now, this one in the green dress offered herself to this ass whipping. So I don't even have any regards for her anymore, because you shouldn't have been doing what you was doing. Because I felt some kind of way like, oh man, she's getting beat, she's a woman. But no, you decided that you want some of this smoke too. So with that being said, I'm okay with you get some of this work as well. Now you see there's one gentleman that, he comes over to help and he's getting swung on. And if you can see right here, yo, this black man that came to help is not even trying to be violent, right? Shout out to this guy, as a matter of fact. You know what? Shout out to this dude, because, yo, he didn't come there for violence. He's actually trying to break this stuff up, right? He's pushing people away, even though he first encountered someone swinging on him. So this gentleman came up with the intent on helping situation and not being a cause of the problem. He came to be the solution. Shout out to that guy. But as you can see, they're not trying to hear none of that, and he's trying to pull people off, and it's still getting ugly. Pops got up, he fell. Wait a minute, I didn't see that part. Wait a minute here. Yo, either that they was either stomping on old boy or what have you. You can just tell right now the security guard is not looking too good. He's at the bottom of the pile. They're kicking and doing whatever they want to do to him. So he gets up, right? He goes to stand up and he just falls. Like, I guess he's trying to chase somebody or get away from the dude that was on him. He gets up, bow, falls, face plants, and hits the floor. But now let's talk about this individual right here. This boy right here deserves a Nobel Peace Prize himself. This man, from what I'm assuming in the angles of the video that we're watching, he happened to be on the boat with all the people, I'm assuming, that were trying to get on the dock that the other people were blocking. So now he gets in the water and he is not playing. He's swimming over there. Yeah. He's coming to get some of that work. As you see, Pops is still yoking somebody up. I think it was a woman or somebody. And he comes back over there. Now he's taking his boots off. And now this is when it gets interesting. Now, all the people that was on that boat. Now, I'm assuming, like I said before, everyone that was on this boat that's up here, they were recording the initial scene, right? I'm assuming, I don't know this, y'all. I'm assuming the first video we was watching was being recorded because this boat happened to pull up. And once this boat finally pulls up, the people that were on the boat, they were upset. And I'm going to be honest with you guys. Anybody that knows me knows that I would have been a part of this rush of individuals right here. Yep, there goes RJ. RJ is in the midst of these gentlemen right here. If I was present in this situation, I'm not gonna lie. I'm going to see about them people that was jumping up on that man for no reason. They go over here ready for it. They asking questions like, "Hey, my man, what was all that you was talking about? What was all that you was talking about? Huh? Pong, hold that." Right now it's up. Now it's going down, and I'm not gonna stop it no more. I just want you guys to see a lot of the situations that transpire. See now, look. There's women that are involved too. Now, I didn't recognize this until later on in the video. The people that are wearing blue were actually, I guess, on a family trip, and they were over there. At first they seemed they was coming in peace, but when this last gentleman right here came and rushed the crowd, and as you can see, there's a woman cop right here, and she seems to be getting her mace ready. Once this plans out, they are whipping this little man's ass right now. They are whipping him something serious. There are women getting punched and beat by other women because they came over to decide they wanted to beat on some people too. And shout out to those women over there. Shout out to those women that came in the defense of us men. I appreciate y'all. I applaud y'all because y'all just didn't sit there and allow a bunch of other women to come jump and beat on us. I appreciate that. As a black man in this situation, it feels good to know, yo, we have each other's back in situations like this. I'm telling y'all right now, I've always been proud to be a black man. But I can't tell you I can't tell you when I've been more prouder than in this moment right here watching this video. Now you may say, "Oh, why are you proud of violence?" No. I don't condone violence, and I'm not sitting here saying that this is a great situation for anyone because people were hurt, people went to jail, and there were a lot of things that happened after this video and all. But what I am saying is, it is good to know that in this day and age, that when there is a black man being jumped on by a bunch of white people, that other black individuals don't just sit there and pull their camera phones out to watch and record, but there are other individuals who will come to the rescue of our fellow brothers and sisters. So that's what I'm applauding right now. If anyone wanted to know, this is what I'm celebrating. I am celebrating black unity by this video right now because no, I am not condoning the violence, but I am condoning standing up for your brothers and sisters. I am condoning that. Yes, the imperfect gentleman is definitely stamping and approving what happened in this video because it's about time, seriously, that we begin to stand up for each other and make sure that we're not just allowing anyone and anything to come harm our people. I'm proud, and I don't care what nobody has to say about that. Back to the video, we're almost done. So as you can see, yeah. There's women and men right now deciding that they're gonna come. Oh wait, she's getting beat and she's gonna get sent into the water. There were other women. Yeah. There she goes. Oh. I didn't see that part before. I didn't see. Yeah. They are wilding. Back up. now this is when it gets comical. I ain't gonna lie to you. It gets a little vicious and dangerous here, that I must say. But this is when the almighty chair. And shout out to this chair, y'all. This chair has become a national symbol. I've seen tattoos. I've seen memes. Yeah, this chair has become part of our culture. But let's check it out. Now, this one right here, you can tell these men were old because they were throwing some old punches, boy. I ain't gonna lie to you. There were some old man punches thrown. Look at this. Those are thumps. Those not even real punches. Those are old man thumps coming. Look at it. My man in the purple. Now, these two women over here was kicking this woman's behind, boy. Oh, here come the chair. Oh, wow. Pow. Yeah, boy. That chair is a loaded weapon. Now, this part right, see, that's the part I don't understand. Yeah, now see, my boy, you got to go to jail for this one. I ain't even gonna hold you. I ain't even gonna hold you. Everybody else is whipping that woman's ass, and they still are over there in the corner, right? They still over there whipping her ass. But these police officers have to restrain this man here. But you know what? Get your ass out of here. Have a sat down. I just wanted to say in this, shout out to everybody that was involved with the whole situation, man. I just want to say, like I said before during the video, yo, I am extremely proud of us as Black people in this instance, because there were other Black people that sat around and watched other instances where our Black people were being harmed, hurt, and sometimes other instances killed, right, by other white people and police, to be truthful, right? George Floyd. But the truth is, guys, there isn't many other situations that's been documented where you see just us coming to rescue and to the aid of us, right? So this moment in point, I want to say, yes, way to stand up for us. Way to be there, y'all. Because let me tell y'all, there are instances where other times where we just watched. Cameras was up, we were just watching. So in this point, like I said before, I want to stress again, no, I never condone violence. But do I have the capacity for it? Absolutely. Will I defend myself and my people if necessary? Absolutely. So like I said, I wasn't going to be one that's going to be sitting there just recording if I wasn't there in that situation. No. Trust me when I was telling you, I'm giving out some ass whip involved. That's facts. There's no cap in that. I'm not tough talking. I'm telling you the God's honest truth. If I was present in that situation, trust me, RJ was knocking somebody out, putting somebody in the water. And to be honest, I might have had a chair in my hand, weighing somebody's ass out. It's very possible. Like I said, I'm not condoning the violence, but I am condoning us standing up and being together for each other and looking out for each other. So shout out to us, man. All right. So this week, guys, I don't have any basketball talk. To be honest, I haven't been really watching any NBA basketball, summer league. Everything's pretty much died down. I haven't seen any really much news out of the league. And I literally just been watching, like I told you guys last week, Next Chapter's basketball, Dante Frigger and his basketball movement. Who else do I watch? East Coast, West Coast, Ballers Life. Shout out to those guys. Just the whole internet basketball right now. Like I said before last week, I'm really happy with those guys got going on. Go check them out if you haven't. If you're not familiar with them, they're on YouTube. Look them up by name. Next Chapter, Deontay Frigger, I believe his name is. Ballers Life, East Coast and West Coast, and the list goes on. Just go check them out. This week right here, I wanted to just jump in directly into our main topic, and the segue this week into the main topic is Tory Lanez receives 10 years in jail. That's crazy. I've heard a lot of things. I've heard a lot of stories about what transpired that night, which we always normally are going to hear a whole bunch of different versions. But one thing my grandmother told me when I was young is that 100 Frenchmen can't be wrong. And what I've learned that term has come to mean is that if 100 people are saying pretty much the same story, either 100 people got it all wrong, which is highly unlikely, or there's some truth in what they're saying. Now, I am not a music fan really of Megan Thee Stallion. I'm not really into her music, to be honest. Tory Lanez has had a few tracks that I've bumped to and I like, whatever. But overall, neither one of them are my actual cup of tea when it comes to the music industry. When I heard what transpired and just the overall overview that I've gotten from just hearing the situation, there are so many ways and reasons that I believe that man should not be sitting behind bars for 10 years. From all the information that's out, they can't prove that he did it. Took the shot the gun, shot the woman. Like they can't prove any of that. And when there's money involved, there are a lot of things that will get pushed to the side or just manipulated a certain way because of funds in a certain direction. I know for a fact that if the law states that you can only go to jail if they can prove it beyond a reasonable doubt, there are so many doubts in the case. I'm taking this story as an example of we as men have to be careful who we, number one, hang out with, men and women. We got to be careful who we spend our time with, who we want to hang out with, who we want to just be around with, because the company we keep will also determine the things that we get into or get away from. That was major right there. I'm going to say that again. The company we keep will either determine what we get away from or what we get caught up in. Now, there have been many, many times in my life that the people that I was with, I knew I shouldn't have been with. And only time let me know I shouldn't have been with them due to circumstances that I found myself in because I was with them. Now, there were certain situations and circumstances where I could have been put in behind bars just because of my relationship to certain people. So this is why I say it's important who we hang out with, because if you hang out with a certain type of people that are consistently in certain kinds of lifestyles and behaviors, it's only a matter of time before that residue gets on you. It's only a matter of time. You got to be careful with the company you keep, right? As a man, meaning your friends and all those things, and the women friends that you keep, your guy friends. But let's talk about the importance of choosing the right woman. Let's talk about the importance of choosing the right woman to be your wife. I truly believe, this is the most important decision you will make as a man. Hear me good. I'm going to say that one more time. You as a man, you choosing the woman that you are going to be with for the rest of your life, because that's what the vows are. I'm not talking about the individuals who are okay with getting divorced and all those things. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the ones who are saying, you know what, until death do me part is my vow, and I'm going to keep that word. When you say that, you got to make sure that you're choosing the right person to say that with, because if not, it will be one of the most devastating decisions that you make in your entire existence. I'm letting you know that right now. Choosing the woman that you're going to be with for the rest of your life should not be taken lightly, y'all. At all. Not even in the least. It should not be taken lightly. When you choose someone you're going to spend the rest of your life with, think about that. The rest of your life. However long, however short that may be, you are choosing a partner to be with, to love, to be committed to for the rest of your existence on this earth. Yes, that's what marriage is. That's what choosing a life partner actually is, guys. So it should take a lot more thought process than just that, oh, this person looks good or she makes me feel good. It should take a lot more thought process than that. Choosing a wife is choosing your future. Choosing the right woman is choosing your future, my boy. Whoever you choose, that's what you're going to have to deal with for the rest of your life. And I mean the whole person. I don't just mean a stacked chest, her flat stomach, or her fat behind. I ain't talking about none of that. I ain't talking about her beautiful lips, nice fingertips, and beyond beautiful hips. I'm not talking about none of that. I'm talking about all of her thought process, her beliefs, her empowering ones and her limiting ones. The little girl on the inside of her that has trauma that she hasn't let go of, right? When you choose a woman, you're choosing all of this. Her background, what she's been through, all the things that she comes with, you get. So all her decisions she's made before you, you're going to have to deal with. The same way any woman that chooses to be with you is now picking up every decision you've ever made. See, this is what marriage is all about, y'all. And marriage is not just about the bliss that comes within the unity and the matrimony of a couple coming together. That's just not what marriage is all about. No, it's about two people coming together with their lives, their entire structure of their lives coming together. The good, the bad, the ugly, the indifferent, all the things that come with individuality, you are now bringing to a relationship. I'm talking heavy right now because I know some people are uncomfortable right now, and it's all good. The reason why you're uncomfortable right now because you're on the teeter-totter right now. You're not sure if this is what you want to do, and I'm glad I'm talking to you right now, especially. Because what I don't want you to do is to walk into this thing called marriage thinking one thing, having a certain mindset about it, and you're not even prepared for it. I don't want you to do that. Because let me tell you something, King, it's not fair to you, to your wife, or the children that you guys are going to create. It's not fair to none of you. So this is why I'm telling you guys that this episode for me is probably one of the most important ones I'm going to do, because this right here, I wish it was explained to me before I made a decision to become someone's husband. Truthfully, I wish that this was the conversation that I had prior to deciding to be someone's husband, prior to becoming someone's father. This is the stuff that really matters, y'all. Let's talk about what you should be looking for in a woman. Now, I'm not going to sit here and give you guys attributes and behavior patterns. No, I'm not going to do that, right? Because that makes no sense. Me sitting here telling you what to look for in behavior patterns, I'm giving you a stereotype or even my type of woman that I feel is right for me based on my experiences and my judgment. You don't want that. That's not what you want. What you want to do is to have a certain blueprint, a certain guideline that you can use to base your judgment from your situation and the woman that you're dealing with to see how it affects you going forward in your future. That's what I'm here to do today with this episode of the podcast. I'm not here to tell you, oh, look out, make sure if she does this, she's the one. if she doesn't do this, she's not the one. No, 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 no. That's not what this episode is about. And I'm not here to do that. What I'm here to do is to let you know that the importance of the decision you make to choose the individual you're going to spend the rest of your life with is one of the most important, if not the most important decision you will make as a man. It is the most important decision you're going to make as a man, period, hands down. There is no other decision that you can make that's more important. I don't care when it comes down to buying a house, buying a car, where you're going to live. All those things don't matter in comparison to choosing the right spouse. If you choose the wrong one, your life will be a living hell. I'm letting you guys know this right now. I'm being real. I'm talking about I'm being as raw as I possibly can. You have to understand, I can't even sit here and think of another decision that's more important. I can't. As a matter of fact, if you can think of another decision that's more important than choosing the right wife or woman, let me know down below in the comments that decision. Whatever that decision is, if you truly feel like there's another important decision that you're going to make in life as a man that's more important than choosing the right wife, let me know down in the comments, because I need to see. Because me personally, my brain can't even fathom another decision that's even remotely more important or closely. I don't care if it's the college you go to, job, that your career decision. I don't care about none of that. None of that matters in comparison. Who you choose to connect your life with will dictate the direction and the trajectory of your life. It's just that important, guys. Like, you know how important the navigational dial is to a ship, right? Because if that navigational dial is a centimeter off, that ship could end up in a total different direction than where it was designed to go. And choosing a wife is just that important. The woman you choose is going to choose and direct the trajectory of your life, where you're headed and how you're going to get there, how soon you're going to get there, or how slow it's going to take you to get there. If you're going to make it to your destination, or if you're not going to make it to your destination. If you're going to fulfill your promise and your purpose in life, or you're not going to fulfill your purpose and destiny in life. All of this is predicated based upon who you choose to live your life with. So do you see the importance here? I hope I'm not just belaboring this point for nothing, because I truly believe and understand that if you choose the wrong person, oh man, you're going to have some hell to pay behind it. And I got some examples about it. Trust me, I'm going to get into those examples. Let's talk about what you should be actually considering when choosing the right woman. You should be considering the right woman based upon, number one, if you have got your thought process of who you are, your identity. You have your identity as a man first. You understand who you are, why you're here, and your purpose. You understand your purpose here. That's first and foremost. You should not be looking for a wife or looking to be with a woman if you haven't figured out who you are yet, your personality, your own self. If you haven't spent time with understanding who you are as a man, first and foremost, then please do not look for a woman, because you're going to do more damage to yourself and her in the long run than you possibly could imagine. Once again, I'm speaking from experience on that. Yes, I was an individual who found themselves as a father and a husband first before I found myself as a man. And who had to pay for it? My wife and my kids. Pay for the fact that I didn't do the work necessary to understand who I am and whose I was, understanding my purpose and my calling in life. I didn't understand those things before I decided that I wanted to create this family that I have now. And they did pay greatly. My wife especially. She had to go through a lot of growing pains that women should just simply shouldn't have to go through with a man. I'm first to admit that. My wife went through a lot of things that she should not have had to go through, because I should have taken the time to do the work before I just committed my life to her and made a commitment to be the man and husband that she needed in her life. The truth of the matter, those are the true facts. But in hindsight, because of that, guys, I'm speaking to you guys now with experience and understanding of, yeah, I made some bad decisions. I made some bad choices along the road. Because of those choices, other people that I love dearly suffered behind it. I caused people that I love dearly a lot of pain because of this situation right here I'm talking to you guys about. And this is why I'm so passionate about it. There are so many other individuals who simply got involved with relationships before they got in love with themselves, and then they end up being divorced. They end up being in toxic relationships, not because of the other person, but because they didn't technically do the work on themselves first. And this is why I'm stressing this point before I even get into what you should be looking for in a woman. First and foremost, you should find yourself, period, point blank, as a man, before you decide to find yourself a woman. But let's get beyond that. Let's get to the compatibility that we should be looking for inside of our women. You should be looking for compatibility in a couple of areas. And these areas I think are phenomenally important. Number one, your values. What are your values? Where do you place your value? What are your non-negotiables? This is what you should be having consideration when you're considering someone to be your life partner. What are their values? What are their morals? What do they stand on? Are they individuals that just talk a good game, or do they actually operate the thing that they talk about? This is what we should be questioning and we should be vetting when it comes down to choosing the right partners in life. This is what we should be actually thinking to ourselves, not about what this person brings to the table. What could they do for me, right? Like all this nonsense that today's society has got us thinking that this is the right thought process to have, because that's all nonsense. All those things fade away. But the truth is, morals and values. What is your religious belief? Like I've seen couples who've gotten together and didn't even know what religious background each came from, and then when they have children, now they're having conflicts because they want to raise their child a certain way, and then their spouse wants to raise the child in another religion or practice. This should have been spoken about earlier. These are the things. This is why I'm saying it's so important to understand these things about someone before you enter into a marriage with them, because this is what you base your life on, right? If the woman you're choosing out here is down with just doing everything that you're solely against, all your non-negotiables, she actually thinks is her way of life, it's impossible for you guys to live in harmony, right? It's impossible. And this is why the good book says you should not be unequally yoked with anyone, because it's impossible to have a productive life or a meaningful journey with anyone who's simply operating against you. And they're not doing it to be spiteful. They're doing it because this is their beliefs. This is who they are. And this is why it's important not to just get married and just hook up with somebody because you feel good about them or you just met them and you're so in love. Now, I'm not taking shots at nobody who's jumped into marriage right away when they first met someone. But I'm going to be honest, there are a lot more people who have been divorced because they jumped into marriage way too early. Like, I got a friend of mine right now, and I'm going to tell the story right now, and I'm going to save his name because I don't want to put him out there, but he knows who he is because he just called me with his information. He has a situation where he's been married to this woman now for a couple of years, umpteen years now. The person that she's shown it to be right now, she's always been. But because it was such bliss early in his endeavors with her, all the signs, all those things was, oh, I can help her, right? I can turn her into the person I want her to be. As most individuals do, humans do. We bypass a lot of the flags, the yellow ones and the red ones, because we're just so caught up in the moment and the person in that moment in time. But let me tell y'all something. This very individual I'm talking about right now, let me tell y'all, he called me today and he was in a funny spirit. So he had me cracking up. He told me that his wife right now, soon to be ex-wife because they're separating, that she's leaving on a flight to leave the country, right? She had to leave from down here in South Florida and it took her to Houston. Now, he said that she got on the flight to go to Houston. No, I'm sorry, from Houston to leave the country. That flight flew 2 hours out, turned around, and came back. Now, when he was telling me this story, y'all, I was even a little concerned, like, oh my God, a flight flew out 2 hours, then turned around and flew those same 2 hours back to the same station. There's something wrong. Like, that's dangerous in my first thought process. And he was like, yeah, I'm a little worried. And I'm like, yeah, bro, me too. And he was worried about why the plane is bringing her back to the States. Yes, this man is worried about why that plane is bringing her back to the States, meaning that he is excited for her to leave and get away from him. Think about being with somebody and you just can't wait to get away from them. You just want them to leave, right? Just think about how much stress that puts on your livelihood. Think about how much turmoil that really puts on you as a man when you just can't wait for this individual to leave. Oh my God. And the mere thought about her coming back, not even just to the hood, back to the States, makes your stomach hurt. I'm sitting here laughing right now because of how he was telling me the story earlier and how it's a great example for what I'm even talking about in this podcast episode. You don't want to be in that position where you're going to work and you don't want to come home. There are so many men that literally go to work every single day, work overtime, go to the bar and hang out, then go to their homeboy's house just to get home so that everybody's asleep. They can get in the house, shower, wake up and get out before that anybody else wakes up in the home. That's not a happy life. That's not something. That's not a harmonious home. That's not some place that anyone should even have to put themselves subjective to live. But this is why it's so important to choose the right individual to live with, because if you choose the wrong person, this is what you will end up with. A lifetime of heartaches, headaches that you don't want to come home to. Let me tell y'all something. I love my wife undoubtedly with all my heart, with everything in me. Why do I do that though? Because she has taken everything I've given her and made it what is needed to be. She's taken my love and my consideration and my passion and everything that I have for her and produced children for me. She's taken the space in the home that I've created and turned it into a home for me. She makes this place that I live in worth coming home to. She gives me what I need. She's my helpmate. But guess what, fellas? I got this based upon me understanding I had to choose the right woman, y'all. I had to choose the right woman. I didn't get the woman that I have right now. And let me tell y'all something too, because I've gotten a lot of slack for this. Yo, yes, I've been my wife now. We've been together now for 16 years, and we've been married for 8 now. Yes, meaning it took me 8 years to marry my wife. Now, somebody told me a long time ago that, oh, I dragged her along. What took me so long to marry her? I beg to differ. Why? Because it took me time to learn this woman. I needed to see her in different seasons of her life to know that if I wanted to be with her or not. See, the courting phase for a lot of y'all out there is too short. That's the problem. You can't just find someone and 3 to 6 months later, all of a sudden, I want to marry them. That's not how this works. There are 4 seasons in each year for a reason. You need to be able to see an individual in each season of their life. You need to see them in happy times, in bad times, in up times and down times. And you need to be able to see them in life and death, in circumstances that are good and circumstances that are bad. You can't just base your decision to be with someone based upon a good feeling. Because trust me when I tell you, that feeling will dissipate and you will be left with whatever else that came behind that feeling that you did not pay attention to. I got a plethora of men that I know for a fact wish they would have made a better decision with the women they chose. And this is why I'm making this episode right now. Fellas, don't let no one, no circumstance, no situation, hear me good. I'm gonna say this again. Don't let no circumstance or situation or anyone rush you into marrying anyone. Don't let no one rush you into marriage before you're ready mentally. Now, when I say mentally, meaning you are ready to put someone before you in life. That's what I mean. You're not going to be ready for the nuances of marriage. No one is. Like, you're not ready for an NFL football game until you get in one. You're not ready for an NBA basketball game until you played in one. You're not ready for a boxing match until you've been in one. You're not ready for marriage until you get in one. But the mindset that it requires you to be ready is, are you ready to put someone in front of your life first? Are you ready to put someone before you? Are you ready to make sure that someone else is okay before you are okay on an everyday basis? That's how you know if you're ready to be married or not. But if before you do that, you got to know that, listen, you're going to put your life on the line for this person. So you should know what kind of mental capacity they have, right? What kind of spirit they have. What kind of emotional balance do they have? Because the truth of the matter is, I knew my wife was all good when it was all good, but I didn't know the kind of hell spawn she could spit at me when she was mad until I made her mad. I didn't know the kind of fire and brimstone she could throw out until I pissed her off. And then I found out it was real. Facts. I'm telling y'all this for a reason, y'all. You don't know someone until you've been with them for a few seasons, a few turns of those seasons, meaning years. Now, I'm not saying, oh, go take as long as I did. I'm not saying that. But I'm also not saying that you can just go get married with somebody in the first few weeks, months, or even the first year of meeting them and think it's going to be okay. Because trust me, the numbers speak against it. There are such circumstances where they last longer, and there are situations where people do have harmonious marriages right off the cuff. Absolutely, but not a lot of them. I'm just going to be real with you. The numbers speak on it. Go do your own research. I don't have any numbers or documentation in front of me right now, but I can pull up some research, and I definitely got a whole bunch of men that I mentor, coach, and I have in my cycle and my network of men that can vouch for what I'm saying right now. And they also could wish that they made a better choice in choosing the right woman to be with. I just want to say that out there. So the things you want to make sure that she's compatible with, guys, physically, right? She has to be where you are physically and sexually. Let's just put that out there. You don't want to marry someone who is a prude and you're someone who loves to express themselves sexually, it's going to end up in a frustrating marriage for the both of y'all. You want to make sure y'all are compatible in the sexual nature, right? In the physical area. You want to make sure that you're compatible mentally. You want to be able to make sure you have a conversation with this person, whether it be an intellectual or even a shallow conversation. You want to make sure that they have the capacity for whatever type of conversation that you like to have now and moving forward in your life. Because it's also important to make sure you're choosing a wife that also suits the person you're going to be. Now, this is a very, very powerful point I want to make. You don't want to choose a woman only based upon who you are now. Hear me good. Don't just choose your woman based upon who she is now. You also want to choose her based upon the man you're aspiring to be, because you want who you guys grow together to be. You want to grow together. You don't want to grow apart. You want to grow and go in the same direction. You don't want to grow and go apart. This is why I say it's important to choose her for who you are now, as much as it is important for you to choose the one that's going to be able to stand side by side the man you are longing and becoming to be. She has to be compatible mentally. She has to be compatible emotionally. You don't want someone that's going to be cold brick when you're looking to be warm and loved on. You also don't want someone that has that emotional intelligence, and you don't want her going off the deep end when she doesn't understand her own emotion. Now, women are emotional creatures, but that does not excuse the fact that they should know how to control those as well. So don't let that go over your head. Is find a woman who is emotionally intelligent. There are women out there who are emotionally intelligent. Now, are all of them going to be perfect? None of them are. But there are some that can understand their emotions and articulate them and operate them with using good sense. Trust me, there are. So she has to be compatible emotionally. Now, let's talk about spiritually. This is very important. You want a woman that can pray with you, right? You want someone that can literally get a prayer through with you, whether it be, I don't care what your religion is or what your beliefs are. You want someone that can not only tap in with you on this natural realm, but also in the spiritual realm. This is so important, because if you guys pray together, I can promise you guys, you'll stay together. A couple that prays together has way more power and force in this world than a couple who doesn't pray together, who doesn't understand each other spiritually. You want someone that's going to be able to cover you and get a prayer through when you can't get a prayer through. You want someone's also going to pray for you when you can't pray for yourself. You want someone's going to be there for you when you can't be there for yourself spiritually. And there's going to come a time, fellas, so trust me when I tell you, you want someone who has the capacity and the understanding of what you need, not just physically, but spiritually, as a covering, as a partner in this walk we call life. This is why I'm saying, guys, this is so important. Now, last thing but not least, guys, the reason and one of the things you got to take in consideration when choosing the right woman is making sure you consider her communication style in all situations. Her communication style, fellas, her communication style is so important, because you need to know how she communicates in her time of happiness, in her time of sorrow, in her time of need, in her time of lack, in her time of plenty. You need to know how she communicates, and you have to be okay with how she communicates. You can't get with someone and try to change their communication level or their communicational capacity. You can't get in a relationship trying to change that. You have to understand how they communicate and be okay with that, and also be able to communicate within their communicational boundaries and barriers. You got to be able to understand their capacity for their communication, because if you don't, you're setting yourself up for frustration, aggravation, and long-term pain and suffering. If you're looking for a woman who is soft-spoken, but you get someone who has a rougher tone, who is more rigid, who's more stern and has a more masculine way about herself, you're going to be in trouble down the line. If you're looking for a woman who's more tender in her touch, and you meet someone who's more callous, it's not a good combination, and you're going to be upset. Also, you need to find out if you like a woman with a slick tongue or not, because I know individuals who thought that a woman with a slick tongue was funny and cute in the beginning. Now that they're married, he resents it. You don't want that. Trust me, fellas, how you start a relationship will be how it resides throughout your life. See, it's training a dog and training children, and marriages is all the same thing. I know it sounds crazy, but don't judge me. It's the truth. How you start something is how it will end throughout the rest of your life. And you'll be just trying to change what someone's already showed you from the beginning all throughout the relationship. You don't want to be there. Trust me, it's not a good place. This is why I'm stressing this. Make sure you choose the compatible person for you and who you're looking to become. Because if not, all you're going to do is have frustrations later on down the road, y'all. All you're going to do is have a whole bunch of resentment. And that's not something you want. So please make sure you understand who you're getting a relationship with, who they are when they're happy, sad. Sometimes, y'all, we get in relationships with people we only know how they act when they're good. But when they're bad, now we don't know how to act around them because we didn't see this. We don't know how to deal with this type of person because we never seen it before. And now we're taking it personal. Oh, you acting funny now. You acting different. No, 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 no. No, they're not. They're being who they are. You just didn't take the time to see who they was beyond the glitz, the glamour, and the love and all the affection that you was caught up in the beginning. That's the truth. This is why I say you got to see someone in all seasons. You got to see someone when they've been endured through a trauma. You got to be with them when they experienced the loss, right? Because some people grieve quietly. Some people grieve outside. Some people grieve by doing things. Some people grieve by just sitting. So if you don't know how the person you're intermingling your life with, how they handle certain things, you now will find yourself on the outward trying to deal with someone you're supposed to be living with on the inward. And this is when separation begins because you don't know this person at their core. Right now, I can tell you how my wife deals with death. I can tell you how my wife deals with loss. I can tell you how she deals with happiness. I can tell you how she deals with sadness, her emotions being up or her emotions being down. I can tell you these things because I took the time to know this before I said I do. And I'm stressing this, guys, because I really hope that you really feel me when I'm telling you is the most important decision you can make in life is choosing the woman you're going to spend with the rest of your life with. So with that being said, I just wanted to make sure that I did my best to stress this and get you guys to understand, man. Yo, listen, a fat ass and big titties is not everything. It's about who she is on the inside, fellas. Get away from just chasing the external person because I'm telling you, those breasts will drop. That fatty will deflate. It will droop over time, over years. But the thing about the essence of who she is, that personality, that characteristics of her very essence, that's what you need to fall in love with. That's what you need to know. That's what you need to get full relationship with. Not just who she is, but her essence, her spiritual being, learning what makes her move, her inner girl. I'm telling y'all something. When you learn to love the inner woman, the inner little girl of your woman and tap into that and nurture that, oh, it's a game changer. But the only way you get to nurture and really get even to understand and learn who that little girl is, you got to choose the right one that's going to allow you to even get to know that little girl, who's going to allow you to grow and become the man you need to become. Because the truth is, fellas, what we don't understand and realize until later in life is that if we don't choose the right woman, we won't grow and develop into the men into our full potential. Because let me tell y'all something, I don't care what nobody says. If a woman if she's not down for the man you're looking to become and y'all gonna stay together, oh, she's going to do everything in her power so you don't become that man because she didn't sign up for that. Fellas, another important point. Do not marry someone who is not committed to following your lead. I'm so sick and tired of talking to men who are trying to put women in categories they are specifically telling you that they are not designed for. Women who are telling you that they do not fit your category of woman are the women who are telling you that they don't want to submit to you. They don't want to be to follow your lead. Why are you even considering her? She's not that. Let me tell y'all something. I have never had to ask my wife or no other man that's in a relationship that's successful that I've come in contact with ever had to open his mouth and ask his woman to submit to. Ever. There hasn't been one individual that as a matter of fact, let me not say that. If anyone you know, write them down in the comments. Give me their name. Bring them on the platform. I want to talk to them. Let me know, is it been a successful relationship where a man has had to tell his woman or ask his woman to submit to his leadership? It doesn't happen because inside of a successful relationship, a man simply just leads, and the woman that chooses to follow his lead does just that, and they operate in harmony. There's no puss and resistance in that. It shouldn't be. If there is, that's a problem in itself, and don't look past it. Don't look past that, y'all. So, fellas, in closing, and this week, I don't even have no words for my kids, JoJo and Josiah and Imani. No words for y'all this week. This is only for the grown and sexy right now. My closing thoughts is this, fellas. I heard a message a long time ago, and it went like this. Make sure you're choosing a wife and not a knife. A wife is going to help you move forward. She's going to help you be the helpmate. She's not going to cut you every time you make a move. She's not going to stab you every time you make a decision. She's not going to puncture your love every time you offer it. Understanding choosing the right woman is not just about who you are right now. It's about who you're becoming. Choose the woman that's fit for who you are and who you're becoming. But before you can do that, you have to also know who you are as a man. So my final thoughts to you guys is this. Before you go out there and choose the woman, and it's important to choose the right one, make sure that you understand who you are, whose you are, what your design purpose is, and you're inside of that purpose before you decide to put on the title of husband and father. That's my only advice for you fellas. Make sure that the woman you choose, once you get right with yourself, she's compatible with you. She's compatible with you mentally, physically, spiritually, and emotionally. You understand her core values. You understand who she is at all seasons of her life. You understand what her past is, her family dynamics, as well as her communication styles in all situations and circumstances. I truly believe if you have these things, understanding about the person you're going to truly spend the rest of your life with, you won't be just living in complete harmony and bliss, because that doesn't exist. But I can promise you, you have more good times than bad. So with that being said, good people, I'm about to get up out of here. But like always, tap in with your boy. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that share button, and get this information out there. And look forward to the next episode. Everyone that's taking the time to watch this podcast episode, I appreciate you as always. I'm grateful that you took the time to rock out with your boy, because you could have been anywhere else, but you decided to come rock with me, and I don't take that lightly. I don't take it for granted, because I understand you have other things to do, and I'm not the most important thing into your life. I'm just happy to be a part of it. So with that being said, fathers, understand this. To the world, you're just the dad, right? That's all you are. To the world, just the dad. But to your family, you are the world. Don't let that go over your head, all right? But check this out. Until the next time I see you in these podcast streets, be good to yourself and the ones around you. But if you can't be good to the ones around you, that's okay. Don't trip on that. It's okay. Just get those people from around you. Yo, this is RJD, the Imperfect Gentleman, your men's confidence development coach. And this has been another dope episode of the Imperfect Fathers Podcast. Y'all be blessed, because I will. Peace, man.